As Obito was about to capture Naruto, Guy descended from above, striking Obito's head with his nunchaku, forcing him to become intangible again. Then, the two began to duel. Guy, a master of taijutsu, held his own against Obito. Meanwhile, Kakashi quietly gathered his strength for Kamui, aiming to sever the Geto statue's head. Shockingly, Kamui's attack was forcibly interrupted, something that had never happened before. Kakashi had a realization, but had no time to think it through. He quickly created a kunai imbued with Raikiri, but Obito kicked it towards Naruto. Kakashi used Kamui again to transfer it away. At that moment, a crack appeared in Obito's mask, and combined with the forced interruption of Kamui, Kakashi had an idea but lacked proof. He then instructed the Eight Tails to throw all three of them simultaneously. As Obito materialized to absorb Guy's nunchaku, Naruto launched a sneak attack, and Kakashi used Kamui to transfer the Rasengan. Incredibly, the part of Obito that had become intangible was injured by the Rasengan. It turned out that whenever Obito was attacked, he would transfer the affected part to another dimension. However, Kakashi couldn't understand why their separate dimensions were connected. He then asked Obito where he got that eye. At this, Obito became furious, mocking Kakashi as someone who now only talked. As Kakashi sank into painful memories, Guy's reminder brought him back to focus. When Obito released chains to bind the Eight Tails, Naruto leapt up with a Rasengan. Kakashi used Kamui again. Looking at the fallen Kakashi, Obito taunted him, saying his Kamui was a waste of chakra, slower than Obito's would release. Cutting technique. Even when faced with Naruto's tailed beast bomb, Obito was confident. However, upon entering the alternate dimension, he was confronted by Naruto with a Rasengan. It turned out that Kakashi had transferred not the Rasengan, but Naruto's shadow clone. With the mask shattered, the mysterious man's identity was finally revealed. He was none other than Obito Uchiha, Kakashi's long-thought-dead friend. With a single blow that forced Madara to appear, even Obito was surprised. He hadn't expected Madara to arrive so quickly. It seemed the five Kage were indeed too weak for Madara. Taking the war fan from Obito, Madara exuded sheer dominance. With one move, the Uchiha returned. He easily deflected the small black rods pulled from the Eight Tails, and even repelled Naruto's mini-tailed beast bomb effortlessly, knocking Naruto to the ground in a single exchange. As Madara pursued the Nine Tails, Obito fell into another flashback. After the battle at Canopy Bridge, the supposedly dead Obito had been saved by Madara. Seeing the old man with Sharingan in front of him, Obito was very confused because he knew all the elders in the village, and there was no one like this. Little did he know, Madara had been observing for a long time before choosing him. During the half-year Obito spent recovering after having Hashirama's cells transplanted, Madara wasn't idle. He secretly made many plans, including turning Rin into the Three Tails Jinchuriki and planting control seals in both Obito and Rin's body. During this period, Obito wasn't lonely because he had the company of two mischievous white Zetsu. One of them was particularly obsessed with understanding what bowel movement felt like. Time passed, and Obito gradually adapted to his body with Hashirama's cells. He began to look forward to seeing Rin and Kakashi again. However, White Zetsu suddenly informed him that Rin and Kakashi were under attack. Without thinking, Obito desperately charged toward the cave exit, but his newly healed body fell apart again. With the help of Swirl Mask Zetsu, he finally managed to punch open the stone door. As Obito was about to leave, Madara called out to him. Obito declared that he would never return, but Madara confidently believed he would. Obito reached the battlefield, and as he passed through the dense forest, he connected with Kakashi's vision. Filled with joy, he arrived at his friend's side, only to witness his best friend killing the person he loved most. At that moment, Obito's mind went blank, his heart torn by pain and confusion. Both his and Kakashi's Sharingan began to evolve into Mangekyo Sharingan simultaneously. Raging anger and power erupted from Obito's body. Unlike Kakashi, Obito didn't pass out due to the enhancement of Hashirama's cells. He charged at the mist ninjas surrounding Rin and started a relentless massacre, killing all the enemy. Blood soaked everything around him like rain. He stepped over Kakashi and picked up Rin, recalling Madara's words about a dream world. At that moment, Obito lost all hope in this world. He had to create a world where Rin existed. Rin's death completely darkened Obito's heart. He returned to Madara's cave, where Madara used the Sharingan to pull him into his Genjutsu space, explaining how to create the dream world and teaching him Yin-Yang release and other S-rank jutsu. Before his death, Madara created Black Zetsu, embodying his will to oversee Obito. Black Zetsu, with his excellent acting skills, bore great humiliation to revive Kaguya, making him the most devoted character in the series. After Madara's death, Obito sought out Nagato and his group, trying to persuade Nagato to join him. Fortunately, Yahiko was astute and didn't fall for Obito's lies, leading Nagato away. Under Yahiko's leadership, the Akatsuki grew stronger. Initially, they admired Hanzo, viewing him as a hero fighting for peace. At this time, Hanzo didn't mind the Akatsuki's activities, and even liked these kids who shared his ideal. Not long after, during a sneak attack by Iwagakure, Yahiko and Konan were in danger. Fearing another tragedy, Nagato unleashed the Geto statue. Yahiko managed to pull Nagato back in time. At this moment, Danzo Danzo appeared, revealing that the Ivagakure ninjas were actually disguised root members. To ensure Konoha's victory, Danzo led the Umbu in disguising as ninjas from other nations to sabotage peace talks. Upon seeing Nagato's Rinnegan, Danzo grew covetous, secretly killing Hanzo's subordinates and framing the Akatsuki. Hanzo and Danzo then collaborated, using the promise of recognizing the Akatsuki and granting them diplomatic rights as bait to set a trap. Obito had known all along and approached Nagato the day before the negotiation, only to be rejected. During the negotiation, Hanzo took Konan hostage to threaten the Akatsuki. Other members rushed to support, but were all killed by Obito. This world held no hope. Seeing Yahiko die before him, Nagato broke down and went berserk, merging with the Geto statue. Witnessing this, Obito was more determined to implement the infinite Tsukuyomi, vowing to reunite the three of them in the dream world. But this time, the caster would be himself, not Uchiha Madara. Obito had his own plans, and never intended to follow Madara's instruction. Madara's identity, and black and white Zetsu, were just pieces he could use for now. Obito then took control of the Akatsuki, and Nagato, using the outer path, created the 6 paths of pain. They secretly recruited S-rank missing nin from various villages, to begin capturing the tailed beast. After Kakashi was forced to kill Rin with his own hand, he often had nightmares, and even started reading a book titled, How to Die. During this time, Konoha's failed battle against Iwagakure led to Hiruzen Sarutobi's position as Hokage being jeopardized. In a council meeting, Danzo urgently pushed for Orochimaru to take the position, but Hiruzen vehemently opposed it. Consequently, the title of Hokage was passed to Minato Namikaze, Jiraiya's disciple, who had distinguished himself in the Third Shinobi World War. Seeing Kakashi so depressed, Minato assigned him missions, hoping to alleviate his sorrow. Now with the Sharingan, Kakashi had effectively solved the problem of Chidori's speed, being too fast to see counterattack. However, whenever he charged up Chidori, the scene of Rin's death would flash in his mind. This made Kakashi hesitate during missions, putting himself in dangerous situations that should have been easily managed. Luckily, Guy noticed something was wrong with Kakashi and followed him, saving him just in time. After learning about this, Minato ordered Kakashi to join the Umbu, directed to the Hokage. Kakashi then wore a mask, and became a cold-blooded assassin devoid of emotion. On missions, Kakashi was ruthless and extreme, killing without mercy. Seeing his prized student become like this troubled Minato greatly. On Hiruzen's advice, Minato assigned Kakashi to protect Kushina Uzumaki during childbirth, hoping that witnessing the birth of new life would warm Kakashi's heart and guide him toward change. However, things went wrong. Obito, having overheard Kakashi's conversation at Rin's grave, learned of Kushina's location. Long story short, Obito released the Nine Tails during Naruto's birth. Minato used all his strength to seal the Nine Tails, sacrificing his life in the process. The death of his mentor worsened Kakashi's depression. Danzo seized the opportunity to sow discord, blaming Hiruzen, and inviting Kakashi to join Root. Disheartened, Kakashi joined Root, where he met Yamato and delivered mission plans from Hiruzen to Danzo. Kakashi, feeling utterly broken, frequently dreamed of Rin and an evil Hiruzen, with hands stained in unremovable blood. Yet, he did not fully trust Danzo. To investigate the secret of Yamato's would release, Kakashi infiltrated Konoha's archives in search of information. Hiruzen suddenly appeared, throwing the confidential documents Kakashi sought at his feet. He explained that the powerful Senju Hashirama had a unique ability that no one could inherit, prompting Konoha to try replicating would release, ultimately failing, and deeming it forbidden. In recent years, ninjas and infants had frequently gone missing in the village. From his conversation with Hiruzen, Kakashi realized that Danzo had deceived him. Disguising himself as Hiruzen, Kakashi went to the daimyo's residence, and encountered an ambush by Danzo's men, including Yamato. The young Yamato was no match for Kakashi, who overpowered him in a few moves. Just as he was about to kill Yamato, Kakashi reconsidered the importance of a wood release user and spared him. Danzo, thinking his plan to assassinate Hiruzen was foolproof, was preparing to celebrate, only to find Hiruzen alive and well before him. Despite Danzo's actions, Hiruzen chose to let bygones be bygones, believing that both light and darkness were necessary for peace and the village's functioning, showing his leniency toward Danzo. That night, Kakashi sought Hiruzen to apologize and requested to leave Umbu. Hiruzen acknowledged Kakashi's hatred as justified, given his role in Minato's death. Needing capable people, he hoped Kakashi would stay as a direct Umbu operative. Kakashi's betrayal exposed Danzo's collusion with Orochimaru. Hiruzen personally led a raid on Orochimaru's secret base, but could not bring himself to kill his former student, allowing Orochimaru to escape. Even with all his might, Kakashi stood no chance against Orochimaru, who defeated him in one move. Orochimaru dismissed Kakashi's Sharingan as counterfeit, believing only those with Uchiha blood had genuine Sharingan. At that moment, a snake on Orochimaru's shoulder revealed an explosive tag, which detonated, severely injuring him. Despite this, Kakashi dared not move and let Orochimaru escape. Hiruzen then ordered the Umbu to capture Orochimaru alive. Danzo, determined to prevent Orochimaru from being captured, sent Yamato to assist but secretly intended to kill him. Though Yamato was raised in Root, his education focused on becoming a protector of Konoha. Over time, Kakashi and Yamato became good friends. 3 years after Orochimaru's defection, Kakashi was promoted to captain of Umbu Team 6. During a secret mission to investigate Orochimaru's hideout, he encountered Yamato again. On the surface, Yamato claimed he was there under orders from Root to investigate. In reality, he was sent by Danzo to steal Kakashi's Sharingan. Even when Yamato cut his arm with a kunai, Kakashi couldn't believe Yamato would attack him. Yamato's skills had improved significantly over the past 3 years, making the battle challenging for Kakashi, who wasn't fighting at full strength. It wasn't until Yamato mentioned Rin, and used would release to trap Kakashi, that Kakashi unleashed Chidori to subdue him. As Yamato gave up resisting, ready to face the consequences, a menacing white serpent appeared behind them, a clear creation of Orochimaru. While rescuing Yamato, Kakashi inhaled too much poison gas and passed out. Grateful for Kakashi's help, Yamato abandoned his mission, using a fake Sharingan to report back to Danzo. When Danzo prepared to place a stronger curse mark on him, Kakashi and the third Hokage arrived just in time, surrounding Root, and forcibly taking Yamato away. Later, Kakashi met Itachi. The introduction occurred when Danzo, noticing a shortage of members in Kakashi's team, recommended Itachi to the third Hokage. When Itachi joined Umbu Team 6, the other members doubted that an 11-year-old could be qualified. However, Kakashi immediately recognized Itachi's extraordinary abilities and took special care of him. Madara, who had Hashirama's face tattooed on his chest and mimicked Hashirama's techniques to capture the Nine Tails, was now taking things seriously. He used the Wood Dragon technique to restrain Naruto, who was in Nine Tails form, and began absorbing his chakra. Meanwhile, Kakashi was wounded by Obito and sucked into the Kamui dimension. A giant shuriken left a bloody wound on Kakashi's chest. Struggling to accept that Obito was alive, Kakashi still felt guilty over Rin's death. As Obito raised his shuriken to decapitate Kakashi, Madara, in his Susanoo form, also attacked. Fortunately, Naruto blocked all the attacks with great effort, determined to protect his comrade. At the same time, Guy stood on top of the Eight Tails and unleashed his ultimate taijutsu technique, Daytime Tiger. Kakashi, now more resolved than ever to protect Naruto, used his lightning blade to cut Obito's shuriken. The Eight Tails seized the opportunity to break free from the Wood Dragon's control. With the revival of the Ten Tails imminent, the Eight Tails quickly pulled Naruto away to stop it. However, someone needed to hold off Obito. Kurama took over Naruto's body to recharge Kakashi. With his energy replenished, Kakashi gained limitless Kamui abilities. Naruto and the Eight Tails combined their strength to unleash a massive tailed beast bomb towards the demonic statue of the Outer Path. Despite its immense power, it failed to prevent the Ten Tails revival. Obito, eager to initiate the Eye of the Moon plan, was unexpectedly stopped by Madara. Meanwhile, reinforcements from the 5 great nations continued to arrive one after another, but Obito paid them no mind. To him, they were nothing more than cannon fodder, only adding to the casualty. His sole focus was on observing Naruto, who resembled him so closely, to see what he would become after experiencing such despair. The people before him were perfect experimental subjects in his eyes. The battle between the Ten Tails and the Ninja Alliance began. Ninja from the Hidden Cloud and Hidden Sand were the first to act, disrupting the Ten Tails' vision, and dragging it underground with the help of Ninja from the Hidden Stone. They then dried up the cement with fire released, effectively restraining the Ten Tail. With everyone joining the attack, Madara and Obito shook their heads in disappointment. The coordination was impressive, but the hope they relied on simply didn't exist. Meanwhile, Orochimaru led Sasuke and others to a secret chamber. Wearing his mask, he cut open the belly of the Shinigami, and retrieved his arm and 4 Azure Souls. At the moment of his body's death, he reincarnated into the white Zetsu he had prepared in advance, and performed the perfect reanimation jutsu, summoning the past Hokages who knew everything. Hashirama, revived, was bewildered and quickly asked about the village's situation. Upon learning that his granddaughter was now the Hokage, Hashirama chuckled helplessly. Hiruzen Sarutobi thought Orochimaru was attacking Konoha again, but Orochimaru had come for a different reason this time, to ask the past Hokages about a problem concerning a brat. What is Konoha? What is a village? And what exactly is everything Itachi defended? Hiruzen explained that Itachi had the mindset of a Hokage at the age of 7, and entrusted everything to Sasuke, with the condition that Sasuke protect Itachi. Tobarama, who had deep knowledge of the Uchiha, revealed that the true power of the Uchiha comes from emotion. When intense love is deprived, a special substance is secreted in their brains, causing their normal eyes to mutate, thus explaining the origin of the Sharingan. The Uchiha gain power, but are consumed by hatred in return. Tobarama initially didn't want to engage in conversation, but Orochimaru's strengthened reanimation jutsu made it impossible for him to resist. Hashirama, however, was not bound and decided to help Sasuke resolve his inner conflict. Naruto clearly underestimated the power of the Ten-Tails. In a moment of frenzy, the Ten-Tails changed its form and broke free from the cement's restraint. Left with no choice, Obito and Madara had to implant Hashirama's cells into its body to control it. The speed at which the Ten-Tails fired tailed beast bombs was too fast. Even Kamui couldn't teleport them in time. Suddenly, another blast came from the Ten-Tails, directly hitting the Ninja Alliance's headquarters. It was regrettable that Shikamaru and Ino's father, and others all perished in the massive explosion. Next, Madara requested to become the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki to rid himself of the impure reincarnation, but Obito ignored his request. This meant that Madara had to obey Obito's orders. Madara chuckled, wanting to know what Obito had in mind. Obito explained that he needed Naruto to experience despair. He controlled the Ten-Tails and unleashed would release, cutting Sprig's jutsu on the Ninja Alliance. Exhausted of chakra, Naruto fell to his knees. Once again, Hinata stood in front of Naruto to protect him. Suddenly, Neji appeared, sacrificing himself to shield Hinata. He had to protect the world's hope. Naruto, holding Neji's lifeless body, was at a loss. Obito shouted, urging Naruto to look around at the corpses and reminding him of his promise to protect his comrades. Death and despair were not the end. Lies and hypocrisy were the reality of this world. However, with Hinata's persuasion, Naruto didn't give up. Killer Bee transformed into the Eight Tails and pushed back the Ten-Tails tailed beast ball into its body, allowing everyone to stand up again. In his Nine Tails Kurama Chakra mode, Naruto distributed Nine Tails Chakra to everyone present. Naruto's bonds were unmatched, significantly boosting their combat power. Can you believe it? The tailed beast bomb from the Nine Tails was actually caught by Hashirama's wooden golem barehanded. Meanwhile, Madara wore Susanoo as armor and activated the Nine Tails tragedy. With a slash, Madara attacked, but Hashirama consecutively used would release Hobi technique, would release Ote technique, and quintuple Rashomon to try to withstand the power of Susanoo's tailed beast bomb. However, even these techniques couldn't resist the force of Susanoo's tailed beast bomb. With one blow, it pierced through the mountains, causing water to flow in, forming the Valley of the End. Madara roared at Hashirama and said the famous line, "I've already peed on the other side," proving that despite their differing stances, their friendship remained as strong as ever. The story of the Senju and Uchiha goes back to the Warring States period, before the founding of Konoha. In this era, the ninja world was organized around clans, with constant warfare and strife. Among the most powerful and deeply resentful were the Senju and Uchiha clans. One day, Madara, who was skipping stone by the river, happened to meet Hashirama. Hashirama, who had never been understood by others, quickly became close friends with Madara, who shared similar aspirations. They both longed not for the destruction of enemies, but for genuine peace. Thus, the two youths began sparring and discussing ninjutsu by the river, sharing their dreams and eagerly wanting to change the world. Despite their equal strength, with each bout of taijutsu and ninjutsu, they were evenly matched. However, it turned out that Madara, who boasted of having no weaknesses, feared Hashirama standing behind him when he relieved himself. This may have been Madara's only weakness throughout the entire series. Sitting on a cliff, the two talked about their dream. Hashirama expressed his desire to build a village here, where children wouldn't have to kill each other, a place that later became Konoha. However, their friendship was interrupted when news of their actions reached their respective fathers. Madara subsequently awakened the Sharingan. Their daily battles eventually led both of them to become the leaders of their respective clans, possessing absolute authority. Peace could have been achieved easily, but after Madara's brother, Izuna, was killed by Hashirama's brother Tobirama, the hatred of countless clan members fell solely on Madara. He chose one of Izuna's eyes, obtained the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and unlocked the perfect Susanoo. Despite the overwhelming pressure, his opponent was none other than Hashirama Senju.